All right, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to this evening's race in the Friggy Diggy Racing League. Tonight, we've got 200 laps at the Richmond Raceway. As the sun is setting in the background, we are going to get a little bit of a hot, slick track to start, and a nice, cool, grippy one as we go further in. Joining me alongside, as always, is, of course, Tom Richter.
Good evening, Arie. It's glad to be back up here on another Wednesday night from the Free Diggy Racing League. Tonight, live from Richmond, Virginia. Arie, every time we come to a short track, we also talk about short tempers. 200 laps, a lot of opportunities to maybe lose your cool in one of these next 200 laps around here. How are drivers going to be able to manage what they've got in front of them and the challenges? Because we all know passing is at a premium here.
It absolutely is, and I think when we come to Richmond Raceway, and especially when we come here in the next-gen car, this is one of those tracks where the handling and how you manage the handling of your car throughout the evening is going to make such a big difference. I would say the biggest difference, because early on, I think we're going to see a lot of very snappy, loose cars, especially if you're going to be one of the drivers who's downshifting and upshifting a lot throughout the course of a lap. I want to say the last time I was here, I would drop down into third in turn 1 and 2, up to fourth on the back, down to third, into 3 and 4, and all the way up to fifth on the front. So there's a lot of shifting that can be done here if you choose to do so, and with that comes a lot of tire wear. So we'll have to see how everyone manages it, but handling is going to be the name of the game.
Gonna be the name of the game out here tonight as we get set to go for race number 23 of the schedule on the Friggy Diggy Racing League out here tonight. Upcoming races for the Friggy Diggy Racing League as practice begins to wind down just under 3 minutes. Upcoming races next week, they've got Daytona. That's going to be their regular season closer, and Arie and I will be out here for Daytona, and then Arie will be taking on the track that's too tough to tame all by herself at Darlington, South Carolina, as we get set to go racing and playoff racing from the Friggy Diggy Racing League.
Absolutely.
But as practice begins to wind down, we're going to check a couple of things on our side, make sure we're all set, make sure we're all ready to go for the next 200 laps from Richmond, Virginia out here tonight. We're going to throw trackside for opening ceremonies.
Back. All right, welcome on back. We are just now getting ready to start qualifying. The last 15 seconds here in practice. We see Matt Semple in the 8 has topped the charts here in practice for Richmond, and we'll see if he can hold that through qualifying, Tom.
Yeah, Matt Semple had a really good run. Last time the CyberThunder Broadcast Network was out here on a Wednesday night a couple of weeks ago at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, where we had that door-banging side-by-side finish, photo finish at the Art of Bricks. Matt Semple was strong in that race, and I think Matt's going to be pretty okay for tonight's race. As the checkered flag falls over, open practice out here tonight, looking for the first name to light up on the board. First name that lights up on the board on my side, I see Aiden Shrine getting ready to roll off pit road down here in that number 87 Chevy Camaro, that Ally, that purple and pink Ally car that Aiden's in tonight. We saw a very good run out of Aiden at the road course of Sonoma several weeks ago, Arie. How do you translate a lot of that short track to road course?
Well, I tell you what, Aiden has got the road courses figured out between his Sonoma win and most recently his Watkins Glen win as well. We see that he's done enough races to drop the 9 in front of his number and got a real good looking car to boot. I think the closest oval tracks that you're going to get to road courses are these short tracks because it's a lot of the similar hard braking and hard, balancing the throttle time as we see Aiden get extremely loose off of turn 4 there. But I think the short tracks are going to be Aiden's best bet to transfer those skills, but it's still night and day different.
Yeah, you saw a big slide, and unfortunately that's going to affect both laps for that 87 machine. You lose the corner speed out of turn number 4. See that coming to the green flag, and that ultimately affects both laps. As you see, he's almost 3 seconds off the pace currently set by Matt Semple in that number 8 machine that we were just talking about just a second ago. See if that old Rebel Chevy Camaro can hold up for the pole position out here tonight.
So far, so good for Matthew Semple in the number 8. Looks like we have a good chunk of drivers who are electing to head out on track and get their laps in right away. Not going to wait, not going to dilly-dally at all. Sometimes there's a little bit of shenanigans with the track cooling down, but everyone's ready to go out there and get a lap in.
I do like waiting. In a race like this where the sun is setting, the shadows get longer, the grip comes up. Every second you wait, it may be very minimal, but in competitions like these, where everybody is separated by, Brad Holmes is separated just by 8/100ths of a second, Gary Miller by less than 0.2 of a second, any sort of minimal advantage you can get, give it to me. I'll take it every day.
Absolutely, Tom. I agree with you there. I've often won poles and lost poles by just hundreds or even thousands of a second, and I'm a waiter as well. If I see the weather's cooling down, if there's maybe some clouds coming in, I'm gonna push it as long as I can and hop out there a little bit later.
Our 5 minutes just about halfway through. Got just over 2 minutes remaining out here in qualifying. Looks like Justin Osterman going to be the last driver. Lot of spins out of turn number 4 here.
That is absolutely correct, and something that I thought we might see, especially with the sun still peeking up just a little bit, is just how snappy loose Richmond is. And let's not forget that these next-gen cars, Tom, are snappy loose to begin with. So you kind of combine a track and a car that are both known for one thing, and you got a recipe for disaster. But if you're the kind of driver who can get on top of that, you're probably licking your lips at this.
Well, let's take a look at the weather that we got out here tonight. 84 degrees? A little hard to see on my side.
Yeah, 84.
84 degrees is what these drivers are working with out here tonight. You see the upcoming schedule from the Cookout 200 here from Richmond Raceway. Just one more race before we go playoff racing area. Next week, we're doing it at the World Center of Racing. A track very different than this, Daytona.
That is absolutely right. That should be a great way to end the regular season and get us some interesting action as we get ready to go into that really interesting first round. Darlington, Gateway, Bristol. Good couple of tracks.
I know you like Darlington.
I do.
I think we can we announce this? We probably should have checked with them, but I guess we're also announcing that Arie and I are going to be here every single Wednesday night through the finish of the season for the Friggy Diggy Racing League. So we're super glad, super honored to have the opportunity every Wednesday night to come out here and showcase the talent that Jaden Wicks and the entire admin team has put together here for their Cup Series.
Absolutely. It's the plan to be here every Wednesday, and I look forward to it, being able to cover the entire playoff start to finish, get to kind of embed ourselves in the storylines and keep up with everything and see who comes out on top here this season.
Just about 5 seconds remain in qualifying out here tonight. Matt Semple is going to be our pole sitter for tonight's Cookout 200 from Richmond Raceway. Out here as the sun begins to set just a little bit more. See the shadows coming up on the track, and we are going to wait for that iRacing.com pace car to bring us to the green here. All right, qualifying results up on the board here. Matt Semple, the pole sitter out here tonight for Part-Time Motorsports with a 21.636. To his outside on row number 1 is Brad Holmes, double-double. In row number 2, Gary Miller and Christopher Pugliese, and the top 5 is rounded out by Mike Miller.
Starting in 6th place, we've got Paxton Frith in the 21. Roy Hill the 3rd follows in 7th in the 77 car. Jaden Wicks in 8th, followed by Aiden Shrine in 9th in the 87. Rounding out the top 10 is going to be Justin Osterman in the 54 car.
And rounding out our field of 12 drivers out here tonight, Christian Key and Mike Schaefer elect not to take a time, but they're going to be starting in row number 6 side by side as the iRacing official pace truck begins to roll off pit road.
All right, I'm excited for this one, Tom. I love a good crossover race. We're going from the daytime through the sunset and into the nighttime. We've got varying track conditions and more ways than just rubber being laid down, and that always provides a pretty interesting race. Not to mention, in my opinion, nighttime races are some of the best looking races.
They certainly show the sparks. They show they show every little mistake. If there's a mistake, the nighttime will show it. As the field comes around, they're going to do one additional pace lap here from the Richmond Raceway. We talked about this a little bit ago, Arie. 5 gears in the cars out here tonight in the NASCAR Next Gen cars. We're going to be seeing drivers use all 5 gears, or do you think maybe some of them will try to be using 4th gear?
I think we might see as many as 3 different gears being used. I think I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but I think we're going to see all the way up to 5th gear on the front stretch, and we could see all the way down to 3rd gear, especially on the longer runs as the pace slows down. So it'll be interesting to see, but 4th gear is sure to be used quite a bit.
Into the restart zone, Matt Semple and Brad Holmes bring the field to underneath the guidance of Barney the Flagman. For the first time this evening, we are green flag racing at the short track of Richmond.
Coming off of turn number 2 here, Brad Holmes, double-double, gonna lead the field. Got that great jump by the Flagman on the start. Matt Semple gonna have to settle for 2nd place right now. Gonna try and settle in and find out how to get that lead back. Track position here is gonna make a big deal, especially with the handling issues that this track can present. Battle for the lead.
Semple with a big look down onto the inside of the 0-0 machine of Holmes. He's going to clear himself off of turn number 2. And now Brad's going to now maybe think about taking a look down there. He's going to fall back in line. Open up about a 2-car length lead for Matt Semple.
We've got Brad Holmes running in 2nd place as everyone kind of single files out. That's Gary Miller in the 38 running in 3rd place, just finding a nice line to kind of settle in and ride, followed by Christopher Pugliese, who is driving the 42, technically the 900 car. I'm not sure on that one, but either way, 42 on track. We got a battle here for 5th.
Battle for a top 5 running position out here tonight. Roy Hill the 3rd in that red number 77 Ford Mustang, trying to take a look down onto the inside, trying to take a position away from Pugliese, but he's going to open up the door, and maybe Aiden Shrine also trying to follow through.
I think we're going to see an Aiden Shrine who is bound and determined to make up some track position from that qualifying mishap. Aiden looks fast in that 87 car, and looks like he's definitely faster than these guys. Wants to get up there into the top 5, and early enough in this race to really kind of get a feel for it as the night starts to wane.
So a little bit of a wiggle out of the 77 machine out of turn number 2. Aiden Shrine had to get out of the gas just a tiny bit. Another wiggle. We're going to see 2, maybe 3 wide down here into turn number 1. Great battle for the 5th place position right now.
Absolutely, and we're, only 5 or 6 laps into this race, and look at these handling issues. These cars are squirrely. These drivers got their hands full. This is Richmond racing at its best. And a little bit of contact with the 54 and the 24.
That is Mike Miller and Justin Osterman into turn number 3. We saw a little bit of smoke. Looks like everybody got away from it. Don't even think anybody got into the wall there. Maybe just a little bit of, you know, everybody's just going for the same piece of real estate at the same exact time.
Yeah, absolutely right. And we see the 24 get into the wall just a little bit more on the backstretch. Looks like Mike Miller's just going to need to settle in just a little bit, get the car back underneath him, get back into that rhythm, and keep on keeping on, because we got a long race ahead of us.
Clicking back over up here to the front of the field, Gary Miller started 3rd on the board out here tonight, still running in 3rd behind Brad Holmes. Christopher Pugliese runs in 4th, his starting position. Battle heating up now for the 2nd place position. Gary trying to take that away as we're working lap number 9 of 200 here.
Oh, it looks like Brad Holmes gets real loose on the exit of 2, trying to hook that apron intentionally or otherwise. That's going to give the 38 a little window. Gets closed, almost gets into the back of the double-double, but keeps on keeping on. And I think that 42 car back there of Pugliese is ready for these two to start battling, open up a door for him.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like Christopher in the 900 is ready to pounce. Last time by for Chris, 22.07 versus a 22.3 for the 2 drivers in front of Pugliese. So a little bit faster for Chris Pugliese on the 900 machine. As we will take a look, see if we can't see the lap time history between Chris and Aiden there. See, Pugliese has been quite a bit faster the last couple of laps.
Yeah, I think we might just see something out of Pugliese here. Might have that long run speed, potentially just finding that little knife edge where you can run fast and also kind of keep the tires under you. It'll be interesting to see, but he's definitely putting the pressure on the 38 and the 00 ahead. And one thing I find really interesting right now is the gap that Matthew Semple has out front has already opened up a significant gap, about a 1.5 seconds over 2nd place. Now, is this just Matt going all out, or does Matt have something more figured out here?
Well, it's going to be interesting because we're going to need to... So, we didn't talk about the stages. Our stages are 45 and 90, so these drivers know that they're going to be getting a stage yellow at lap number 45 or before, and also lap number 90. So in a short 45 lap sprint to the first stage, I think it's go, go, go right now. And seeing what you got, seeing how much the tires fall off, because what you do in this first stage and the 2nd stage will set you up for what you can do in the 3rd.
Yeah, that's a very good way to word it there, Tom. And I think, you know, if I'm down there on track right now, if I'm one of these guys racing, I'm using this first stage to see how much I can get away with in terms of kind of leaning on the tires and pushing. I'm obviously not going to burn them up too much, but I like to use the first stage as a little bit of a practice session, a little bit of a test, kind of up at race pace, seeing what I can get away with, seeing what the tires can take, and what kind of steps a little bit too far so that I know what to use in the 2nd half.
15 laps done, 15 laps down and out of the way. Matt Semple continues to lead, your race leader since the start of the field, since the start of the race out here tonight, in front of the field of 12 drivers. Top 5 current running order: Brad Holmes, Gary Miller, Chris Pugliese, Aiden Shrine. Both Aiden Shrine and Justin Osterman, biggest movers of the night so far, up 4 positions from their qualifying position. Paxton Frith is the driver that's going in the opposite way, down 5 positions from number 21.
I think it's going to be interesting. We've got the 87, we've got the 54. They've made up a bunch of positions, as you mentioned, and now they're in the top 5 and just outside of the top 5 respectively. And those are 2 drivers that we have both seen show speed before. So is it going to be one of those nights where they can get up there and start contending? Was it bad qualifying, or have they just kind of gotten up there and are they going to settle in for the rest of the evening? As we got a battle here with the 24 and the 9 car.
Mike Miller, Jaden Wicks, those are the 2 drivers going at it right now for a 9th place running position. Mike Miller under fire from Jaden Wicks. Mike down 4 spots from his qualifying position of 5th out here tonight. Jaden Wicks trying to make the move. On the number 24 machine, as we see sideways out of turn number 2, we caught it live.
Yep, Mike Miller just going to turn it back.
And
the
lights are yellow for the first time out here tonight.
Yeah, that was a good job by Mike Miller to keep it off of the wall on either side and also kind of keep it out of everyone's way. Just kind of maybe, could have tried to keep the car straight, keep it going, but, best way to make, make good out of a bad situation. Not get anyone else involved and not hit a wall.
Yeah, we caught it live. Looks like just maybe using a little bit too much throttle out of turn number 2 for that number 24 machine, but no damage, no harm, no foul. Maybe the worst that comes out of that for Mike is a burned of a set of tires.
Yeah, I would say so, and it'll be interesting to see if Mike decides to take tires for the rest of the stage or just hold on to these with the flat spots they've probably got now and tough it out.
Come back live here, see any drivers making their way onto pit road. Jaden Wicks on pit road, Mike Schaefer, and unsurprisingly, Mike Miller on pit road, but your top 9 drivers stay out on track.
Given everyone else stayed out on track, I'm going to go ahead and say that fuel will not be a concern, and so I would imagine these guys either have a little damage to fix or they want some tires.
Well, there's also part of it, Arie, right? If you're running back in 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, if you're running towards the back half of the field, come down. Try to put yourself in a position, get some fresh tires on the machine. Put yourself in a position to finish up near the front in stage number 1. That's going to allow you to cycle through pit with the leaders and then come out as the race leader to begin stage number 2. So maybe a little bit of that thought process happening as well for some of those drivers.
Yeah, that's a very good point that you got there, Tom, and I love a little bit of having to manage some tires throughout a race and seeing the differences in what people decide they want to do, how they want to save them, or how they want to use them, and I tend to lean a little bit more on the safer side with tires. If I feel like I can save a set somewhere in the first half of the race, I'm probably going to take that opportunity just to have it later. You never know, but it honestly just comes down to, do you think there's going to be those cautions late in the race or not? And that's the beauty of it, is you never quite know.
And that provides the additional challenges of a race where there's limited tire sets. So it wasn't always that iRacing had limited tire sets. It used to be, what would you say, maybe about 2 years ago they introduced tire set limits?
I have no idea.
Maybe a little bit more than that?
Yeah, I think it has to be a little bit longer than that, but it's crazy to think that there was a time where you couldn't limit them and it was always infinite.
Field's going to double up behind the iRacing.com pace car for the first time out here tonight as we get set to go race. And underneath the first yellow of the evening for an incident involving Mike Miller. No contact, no harm, no foul. The 24 is still on track. And, got 4 fresh Goodyears on there, looking to march that 24 forward for this first restart.
I think this is going to be a really good indicator of new tires versus old tires. Got about 20 or so laps on these old tires. Let's see what everyone can do here. Matt Semple gets a good jump on the restart, going to hold on to the lead ahead of Brad Holmes in second.
Good jump by Semple. Saw a little bit of, maybe a little bit of wheel spin out of the front row as Brad Holmes going to take a look now down onto the inside. For battle for the race lead, entering to turn number 3, side by side, 0-0 underneath the 8. Brad Holmes trying to take the lead, but remember, you can't put too much wheel into it on the corner exits. That's the challenge that Brad Holmes has right now, is it gets very light when you do.
Yeah, and especially being on these older tires like everyone up at the front is, I really want to be Matt Semple right now on that high line. And oh, we got trouble behind the 54. Justin Osterman goes around, and that's going to bring out our second yellow of the day. It looks like there was some contact with another driver or two. Have to get some eyes on that one.
Lights are illuminated for the second time out here tonight. Justin Osterman goes around. Don't see a whole lot of, well, maybe I'll withhold that comment there until we see the replay. Looks like he's got some damage on the right front of that Chevy Camaro. Let's take a look and see exactly what happened here to Justin in the 54.
It looks like he just kind of followed the 900 car up into the wall and just hit it twice as hard as the 900 did, and that, you're along for the ride at that point, Tom.
Let's take a look here.
Oh, he actually got into the back of the 900 who hit the wall, and that sent Justin out of control. Here's a better look of it. Yeah, big checkup.
Yeah, you can see is that Chris Pugliese had to back up out of the gas a little bit there, did get into the wall, and when you hit the wall, obviously it's going to slow you down. Justin just had nowhere to go on that caution. We will take one more look at it. We're working with limited cameras out here tonight, so we do apologize. Some of the cameras that we would typically bring you on incidents like these, unable to do so tonight, but you still see the contact with the 54.
It looks like
watch that hit to the inside there.
Yeah, I think Justin was helped around by the 77 of Roy Hill III there, and then we got that contact on the front right of the car, and right after the caution, it looked like that damage was enough to be, you wanting to have that fixed. Like, you're gonna feel that just a little bit.
Yeah, definitely some contact there. You saw the contact between the 54 and the 77 as riding on board for the final time with Justin Osterman. Now, taking a look at his right front fender, I see all that damage going, so I want to say that Justin has used his one fast repair that the drivers do have out here tonight for their use.
I would venture to agree with that, Tom, and I wonder if it's possible that there was a little bit of a toe link issue there as well, and maybe he was kind of forced to do it because I don't think you're getting that damage fixed that fast. And I also think, maybe I'm wrong on it, but that damage also looked like the kind of damage that you could maybe get away with not using the fast repair on. So I wonder. We won't know for sure, but either way, looks like fast repair's already been used for that 54. Got to stay out of trouble for the rest of the race.
As the lights are out on the iRacing.com pace truck, we're getting set to go racing for the second time out here tonight on this next restart. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Wednesday night here on the CyberThunder Broadcast Network. Hey, if you're enjoying tonight's stream, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Arie and I are going to be up here every single Wednesday night for the rest of the Friggy Diggy Racing League Cup schedule, running all the way through November. And once again, as the lights are back on, we will take a look one more time at your upcoming races. You've got Daytona coming up next week, and then they begin their playoffs, the round of 16, Darlington, Gateway, and Bristol.
That started the playoffs. That's got some tracks I like. I kind of wish I was in the car for those 3 races right there. I tell you what, Tom, but it'll be fun to call them. And Darlington is my favorite track on the schedule, and I'm looking forward to that one. That always, I feel like, presents one of the biggest challenges on the whole schedule, and really kind of showcases the talent behind the wheel for those who can really nail that track down. So should be a good time, and I'm excited to see who kind of really hammers down on the pedal this playoffs.
Well, once again, the front row, different restart, same story, being led by Brad Holmes, Matt Semple on row number 1. Aiden Shrine, he's made his way up to 3rd place, starting on row number 2, up 6 positions out here. But Brad Holmes, with a strong restart, takes a 3, 4, maybe a 5-car length lead on the exit of 2.
Brad Holmes ahead of Matthew Semple in 2nd, and it looks like we're going to have the 87 and the 38 side-by-side into turn number 3. Don't count out that 9 yet. Fresh tires for Jaden Wicks, and he wants to use them.
Jaden Wicks, first car we talked about it a couple of minutes ago. Jaden Wicks, the first car on 4 fresh tires up there. Keep an eye on that 9 machine as he comes through. He's got 22 lap better tires than the rest of this field.
And he is going to feel that advantage, Tom, all the way until the end of the stage here in about 12 laps at the line. We got a battle for the lead as well. We got Matthew Semple trying to take it back from double-double and run away before Jaden Weeks can get there, but I don't know, Tom. That 9 car is on rails.
That 9 car is coming fast as
Matthew Semple throws a block.
Lead. Yeah, Matt Semple halfway down the backstretch. Fair or foul with that 35 laps in here, Eric?
I think with how good of buddies those two are, I think it's fair but intense. And little contact. Both of them get loose.
You were saying buddies?
Yeah, I don't know. After this race, I tell you what, that opened the door for Jaden Wicks, and here comes the 9 car going to take advantage of that little contact and give Brad Holmes a hard time for the lead here.
Jaden Wicks, first car on 4 fresh tires, came down on that second caution lap number 22. Jaden Wicks trying to point that number 9 Chevy Camaro to the front of the field. Think he's going to be able to get himself clear on the exit of 4 here.
Absolutely. We're going to have to... Jaden's going to have to hope that blinking gets a little under control right there. Don't want that to happen at the wrong time. But Brad Holmes going to have to settle in for second place. And if there's one thing I think I've seen out of the night tonight, I feel like Brad Holmes and Matthew Sempler are pretty evenly matched, though I think Matt is a little bit quicker, and Brad is just willing to get his elbows out just a little bit more.
I was looking for... I guess we're not going to find it. I was looking for that 3-wide battle that we saw down the backstretch there. Great battle. Now Brad Holmes under fire from Matt Semple as Jaden Wicks is walking away. Last time by for Jaden Wicks, a 21-8 versus a 22-0 for Brad Holmes and Matt Semple. So you see the effects of the fresh tires there for Jaden Wicks.
Absolutely, and I'm also noticing that Brad Holmes seems really tight on entry at the moment. We saw him kind of wash way up in turn 3 and 4, and that opened the door for Matt Semple to peek a nose to the inside, and now he's got a preferred line. And look at Brad Holmes struggling on entry yet again, and that doesn't look like letting Matt by. That looks like Brad is really struggling to get into turn 3. Turn 1 seems okay for him so far.
Working lap number 40 here. This is the stage designation out here, so if a caution comes out between now and lap number 45, that will signify the end of the stage for stage number 1. Sliding back a little bit, taking a look, Mike Miller, Roy Hill the third. Mike Miller also on 4 fresh tires. So Mike started back in 11th on this restart and has made his way up to 6th.
I'm not sure if you spotted that, Tom, but on the front nose of the 77 of Roy Hill III's car, we've got a little dent in there, and I think that's from helping the 54 around on that caution that we had recently. So it'll be interesting to see if that affects the temperatures at all with that 77. I don't think it would affect the handling, but we'll have to keep an eye on that through the evening as well.
That's a good call. I did not see that, but now that you pointed out, you can certainly see as he comes out of turn number 2 here. You can see the damage right about where that Mustang logo is on the entry of turn number 3 on the 77. I don't think that's going to affect the temperatures too much. Maybe at a track like Michigan Auto Club, Homestead, where you have a whole lot more throttle time, that may become an issue. But I think he's going to be able to get away with that pretty scot-free out here tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna tend to agree with you there. And as we come around to complete lap number 43, that's going to be 2 to the stage. We are well in the window for the designation, and it looks like Jaden Wicks, those tires, they're going to amount to a stage win at this rate. But will that price come back to bite him later on this evening?
Jaden Wicks entering turn number 3, going to come out of turn number 4, and he's going to see the white flag for stage number 1. One more lap to go for the number 9 machine.
Like Matt Semple got ahead of Brad Holmes and comfortably kind of found a little spot to run in second place, and kind of stayed with Jaden more than I might have expected with a 20-lap tire difference. But as we saw at the start of the race, Jaden wasn't as fast as these guys on raw pace, so using those tires to just inch ahead, and that's going to be our caution. Jaden Wicks wins stage number 1. Rounding out the rest of our top 10 for stage number 1, Matthew Semple, Brad Holmes in 3rd, Aiden Shrine in 4th. We've got Gary Miller, Mike Miller, Roy Hill III, Justin Osterman, Christian Key, and Christopher Pugliese rounding out the top 10.
The entire field going to make their way onto pit road. Some for the first time, some for the second time out here tonight. Jaden Wicks coming down. He's going to be taking, I presume, his second set of tires out here tonight. Remember, they have 5 tire changes, so going to be using 2 here. The rest of the field, Matt Semple, all the way down to Gary Miller on pit road for the first time. As we'll see how Jaden's able to hang with the pace of the other drivers now that they're going to be on fresh tires altogether.
Yeah, I think it was a very good play for track position, and maybe we can even see if we can pull him up and get a couple words with him, Tom, at the end of stage 1 here, see what he's got planned for the rest of the race.
Let's see. Who were you looking for? I didn't see.
I've got it. Let's see.
Okay.
Here. Drag here. Oh, I can't drag Jaden into this channel because I can't see it in the first place. There we go. We got the driver, the number 9, Jaden Wicks up here, winner of stage number 1. Jaden, you took a set of tires in the middle of that stage to kind of play out, get ahead, get some track position. How are you feeling about that decision, and what are you thinking for the rest of the evening here?
I'm nervous because I know these two up here, Marty and Brad Holmes, like to bump each other around. So I'm very nervous about that. But other than that, I'm feeling great. Hoping I get a win. Really just trying to get enough points to make it into the playoffs. So we'll see how it works out.
Well, I tell you what, winning a stage, that's going to be a good way to do it, and maybe even a pretty good trade-off for using that tire set early. But we'll see what you can do with this track position. Got 1 to green, so we'll send you back down. Good luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Jaden Wicks, stage 1 winner. Lost the spot on pit road, and he's going to be starting to the outside. Still on the front row of Matt Semple, but Jaden Wicks setting that 9 machine in a good spot to begin stage number 2.
Matt Semple gonna jump back out to the lead after that round of pit stops. We got Brad Holmes in 3rd and Aiden Trine in 4th. Let's get stage 2 underway.
Underway we go. Underneath Barney the flagman, he's got the green flag high up in the air once again. Brad Holmes got a great restart. Jaden Wicks loses 1 spot. Brad Holmes puts the back bumper massage to the back of number 8 of that Rebel machine of Matt Semple. Down the backstretch here, they run 4, 5, 6 car lane, sitting straight in a line. Brad Holmes takes a look down to the inside, not able to do anything down there. Turn 3, and Matt Semple brings us to the first lap of stage 2.
It's going to be interesting to see how Brad Holmes approaches stage 2. Oh, Matt Semple, mad loose on entry into turn 1. Going to give up the lead right there and maybe even come under more pressure. Matt did a hell of a job to keep that thing from going around. That was wicked loose into turn 1, Tom.
Let's see if we can take a look exactly what happened to Matt here. And you can already see he's all the way up there, just misses the corner entry. And that opens up the door for 1 spot to go away. Nice job by Matt to not lose multiple positions on that little mishap right there.
Absolutely, and another thing I've noticed is Jaden Wicks has settled in nicely to 3rd right now. Hasn't immediately gone under pressure from behind. We're going to see as the run goes on a little bit further, but so far, that track position play was good for more than just a stage win.
Battles right behind what we're looking at right here. Aiden Trine, Gary Miller. Those are the drivers I'm keeping an eye on. Justin Osman. Remember, Justin had that on-track, maybe off-track excursion a little bit ago. Made his way back up now, running into the 6th position. Solid run so far in stage number 2 for Justin Osterman as he's putting the pressure on Gary Miller in that number 38 car, trying to take 5th place away from Gary.
One thing I noticed right there on exit, Gary Miller in the 38 taking a really sharp exit right there, a lot of wheel to try and stay off of the wall, and Gary's going to have to try and avoid doing that too much because that is going to be a surefire way to hurt the handling long-term at a track like this. Got to kind of diamond it a little bit better, and if Justin can keep the pressure on that 38, he's going to kind of potentially cause him to make more of those little tire-eating mistakes, and as a driver, that's the best way to do it. If you want to get around someone, make it easy on yourself by making them make mistakes or use up their stuff.
Riding on board with the driver that we haven't said too much about tonight, Paxton Frith, started in the 6th place position out here tonight, currently down 2 spots for his current running position in 8th. Solid run, like the way that the number 21 car looks as we come around here. Don't see him getting a whole lot of sideways, don't see him having a whole lot of trouble. We see a lot of drivers tapping the wall in the corner exits, not so much out of this 21 machine. And right behind them got Chris Pugliese and is that Christian Key battling now for a 10th place running position. We're still keeping an eye on Brad Holmes and Matt Semple. They've been the names of the night so far, and if we see them start to get a little bit closer, we're going to jump right back up there, but we're trying to bring all the action all over the track out here tonight from Richmond Raceway.
Absolutely, and right there, we just saw Paxton dip a couple tires down onto the apron. That's not the first time that we've seen that tonight out of these drivers, and specifically down there in turns 1 and 2 and trying to exit off of 2 is We get into the wall there with Christian Key, I believe that was, but dipping some tires onto those onto the apron on either side of the track can prove really dangerous if it's done at the wrong time, and especially if you have someone right on your bumper. Looks like we have a battle for the lead.
Battle for the lead, Matt Semple, Brad Holmes, they're going at it side by side. We saw them, I guess we'll use the term playing nice loosely earlier, but Brad Holmes, Matt Semple, good buddies on and off the track. Also championship contenders. They come in here, I want to say first and second in points. So every point matters for both of these drivers.
That is absolutely correct, and both of these drivers are the type to not back down. They're gonna fight with everything they got pretty much any time throughout the night. And Brad Holmes is just gonna be a little bit louder about it as Matt gets real loose.
But he's able to hold his nose there on the left side of the 0-0. Does not allow Brad to clear him. And actually, Matt clears him off of turn number 4. I did not see that one coming after that turn 2 exit.
No, me neither. And I think that comes down to Brad's struggles on entry into turn 3. It looks like even after that round of pit stops, Brad is still not able to enter turn 3 quite like everyone else is able to. Right here, it seems pretty decent. He's able to get a good line right there, but I feel like there's just one too many instances where Brad doesn't get that turn 3 entry down, and that's where Matt is really able to capitalize.
See a little bit lower entry for Matt Semple, a little bit higher entry for Brad Holmes, with Brad kind of diamonds the corner where he tries to take the momentum, and you see it here again into the turn 3 side of the speedway. You see him try to put the power down before the 8 machine, but losing a little bit of time is Brad Holmes.
Absolutely, and this is a really good way to kind of portray how you race this track. This is a really good camera angle for it. I love what Brad Holmes is doing through turn 1 and 2 right there. That's a perfect diamond, and I wouldn't change a thing about turn 1 and 2. Entering 3, Brad enters about half a lane or a full lane up and doesn't really angle the nose of the car into the corner too sharp, and I feel like that might help with some of his issues entering turn 3. It'll be interesting to see if he changes that at all, but I feel like Matt is able to pull away in turns 3 and 4, whereas they stay about even in 1 and 2.
Now, do we want to talk technical terms here? Because I know if there's a single person in the world for technical terms, it's going to be Larry. Two very different straightaways here. The front stretch is curved, I guess you would say, whereas the back stretch is straight. Is there an advantage to doing it on the entry to 1, going onto the straight back stretch, as opposed to doing it into 3, where the front stretch is curved like you see here?
Doing what specifically?
Doing the diamond.
Doing the diamond, I think it just kind of depends on the track characteristics. I think you more often see it, coming out of the curved straightaway, whether it's, somewhere like here, somewhere like Chicago maybe sometimes, what have you. If you're coming out of that, you're kind of already in the corner the whole straightaway, if you want to think about it that way, and you have a very sharp exit where you're going onto that very straightforward kind of straightaway. That wall jumps out at you, and you don't want to get anywhere near that wall. If you're cranking wheel into the car to avoid the wall, you're just going to eat your tires. But if you diamond it right, you're not using any wheel by the time you get to exit. It's all kind of throttle and how you point the car. So if you ask me, if it's a turn 1 at Richmond or turn 1 and 2 at Chicago even, I'm probably going to try and diamond it at least a little bit, just depending on the track characteristics. But we get down into 3 and 4, and you're entering from the straight part of the track. I want to attack that corner. I want to get my nose angled in before I'm even fully into the corner. I want to really get down there and attack so that I can kind of let the car glide from middle to exit.
Why I love picking your brain about the technical side of iRacing, because even though we're teammates in the booth, we're also competitors on the track. You and I, we've raced together many times, and most times it has worked out well for one of the two of us, but a couple of times, we've traded a little bit of paint here and there. But I love to get to hear your side of things and your thought process, because you are certainly a fast driver.
Well, I appreciate that, Tom. I was going to joke that about 50% of the time it looks a little bit like it did between the 8 and the 00 earlier, where we're just unable to avoid each other, and it's not anything, it's not any ill intentions or anything. We just have a way to end up collected, but all in good fun. And been some good moments over the years. And one thing I got to do since the last time I was up here in the booth, I jumped down there behind the wheel on track at Dover Motor Speedway earlier, a handful of races ago, and I was able to race with these guys and get a feel for how everyone is. And I'm happy to say I was able to get the win when I jumped down there in the car, and that made me feel a little bit better about talking about the technical stuff here, like I kind of, you know, show I know what I'm talking about a little bit. But if there's one thing I noticed out of these guys, it's that it seemed like everybody in the field that I was able to race around, these guys are all the type to fight for everything they can, whether it's early in the race, whether it's late in the race, whether it's for first place or whether it's for fifth place. These guys are going to fight, and they're not going to let you by easily, not without a mistake or not without you taking it. And I kind of appreciated that, especially in a field that isn't up in, like, you know, the 30s of the car count, because I think it gives us a really interesting dynamic and a really interesting show to kind of call every Wednesday night here.
It definitely does, and you see it every night that we're here on the CyberThunder Broadcast Network. You see battles all over the speedway. We've seen it at Echo Park Speedway. We've seen it at Pocono Raceway. We saw it 2 weeks ago at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, where they had an absolute photo finish down to the yard of bricks. And you see it again here tonight from the short track of Richmond Raceway, as following Chris Pugliese around right now as he's set his sights on Roy Hill III, big
good save.
slide for that W machine on the exit at 2.
Absolutely, that was a great save by Pugliese, and right ahead of Pugliese, formerly right behind, that number 9, Jaden Wicks, has indeed fallen back into the back half of the field after taking that track position play. Now, the good news for Jaden is that he's already secured stage 1 win. He got as many points as he could in stage 1. He locked that in, so at the very least, he's got that in his bag for that extra tire set used. And now it's back to the drawing board. That track position play worked for a little bit, but now he's down a set of tires compared to everyone else, and he's kind of fallen back to where he was. So if I'm Jaden Wicks right now, I'm doing everything I can to use this stage, stage 2, to experiment with lines, experiment with braking points. I got to do something different, because what I'm doing right now, it's not working.
Looking at the battle currently for 7th place on the board between fourth place on the board, excuse me, Mike Miller and Gary Miller, 38-24. Mike Miller has been a little bit faster the last couple of laps in that number 24, trailing Gary in that number 38 machine, inspired by the old Wrangler paint scheme that Dale Earnhardt once ran. But now Mike Miller to his outside at the start-finish line, entering into turn number 1. Mike Miller going to be given that spot. I think that was a little bit of a hand out the window. Courtesy, you go ahead. You're faster right now.
Yeah, absolutely could have been by the 38 there, Gary Miller. And it seems like Gary's tires are just beyond where he's comfortable. I feel like watching that 38 go around the track, he wasn't snappy loose. He wasn't, you know, turning the wheel 90 degrees to get off the corner, but the kind of body language, if you will, of that 38 car was just telling me he's not happy. He's not happy. Go ahead, 24. You got the speed right now. I'll follow you for a little bit. I'll see what you're doing, and maybe I can learn something.
And that's a smart move from a veteran driver, Arie, right? We think that the next stage is ending in about 7 or 8 laps. At lap number 90, stage number 2 is going to be displayed. So everybody knows that they're getting a caution here at the absolute maximum in 8 laps. There's no sense in wadding the car up and putting it into the wall, causing any sort of damage when you know that you're going to get a caution, come on pit road, get some fresh tires, put yourself in a better position for stage number 3.
That is absolutely correct, and I think it was a smart move by the 38. Meanwhile, up front, it is Matt Semple in the 8 car, and well, if you're anyone else in the race, you don't want to see that 3.5 second gap all the way back to 2nd place, because I mean, how do you answer that? What do you think it's going to take for these guys to kind of figure out what Matt's figured out and be able to get up there in stage 3 and mix it up with the 8 car, Tom?
It's going to be difficult for anybody to do it, but if there's anybody that's going to do it, I think it's going to be Aiden Shrine in that 87. You see the distance on the track map there is Matt Semple's got 2 cars immediately in front of him. He's got Christian Key and also Paxton Frith not too far in front of him, so those cars in danger of going a lap down before the stage ends. But I say Aiden Shrine in that 87, because remember, Aiden started 9th on the board out here tonight, had a couple of mishaps trying to come through, and he's still running in 3rd. Aiden has not had a fair shake at a restart where he was in position to potentially take the lead. When we get this next restart here, expect the 87 to look and expect the 87 to be strong.
Yeah, I can absolutely see that. Aiden is, of course, our biggest mover tonight, up 6 positions from where he started as Matt Semple crosses the line to begin lap 87 here, trying to get around the last little bit of lap traffic to the end of the stage. But this restart's going to be interesting. Oh, hard into the wall goes Paxton Frithon. That he looks slow. That might have done a toe link in.
Let's take a look at Paxton.
Oh, that's a big dent on that right front right there, Tom.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage. As forget who it was. Somebody would say that.
Somebody
Remember
would
the
say
infomercial guy?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, a lot of damage on the 21 Ford Mustang is where we're getting that. But Matt Semple continues to lead as we're working lap number 89. We're going to see 1 to go on the stage next time by for stage number 2.
I tell you what, that 24 car, Mike Miller, has quietly impressed me tonight. Very solid, up 1 position, running in 4th place. Just very quiet, very under the radar. Very much kind of playing that dark horse at the moment as we see the caution come out to end stage 2. I got my eyes on that 24, Tom.
24 is certainly moving forward. I think you and I were both watching those cars in 3rd and 4th place to see what they can do. And don't count out Justin Osterman finishing the stage in 5th place. Remember, he was on the inside wall about 40 laps ago.
That is absolutely correct. Stage 2 results. In the top 10, Matt Semple going to win stage number 2. Brad Holmes in 2nd place. Aiden Shrine comes home 3rd. Mike Miller in 4th. Justin Osterman in 5th. We got Gary Miller in 6th. Jaden Wicks, Roy Hill III, Christopher Pugliese, and Paxton Frith round out your top 10. On to pit road we go.
On to pit road we go. We're going to see who comes down, who gets off first. Matt Semple has a pretty good advantage entering pit road here. You can see probably maybe about a 2-3 car length advantage over Brad Holmes, and he's also got a lap car in between him and the 0-0, so good spot for Matt Semple to come down here. No mistakes, don't speed, don't slide through your box. Clean stop, come out as the race leader.
Absolutely. When I'm leading the race, there's nothing I like more than putting lap cars between me and 2nd place, because that comes in handy when 2nd place has to pass those guys, or when you get a caution, you got to come down pit road. Gives you a nice little buffer.
Oh. Battle off pit road. Looks like... Is Matt still on pit road? Oh no, Matt's back on track. But, Arie, we are out here for a 200 lap race out here tonight, but we are reminded on a constant basis of how sim racing is so much more than a game. And tonight we're doing it in honor and in memory of Frigga Racing League driver Angel Vasquez. Tonight, we're going to be taking a moment of silence for Angel. On August 13th, drivers and admin team received the news that one of their drivers unexpectedly passed away at just 20 years old. Angel had a tremendous love for family, cars, racing, and he had only just started his sim racing career. The drivers and the admin team and us up here in the CyberThunder broadcast booth want to send our deepest condolences to his family and friends, and they continue to be in our thoughts and prayers during this difficult time. We do have a GoFundMe link pinned at the top of our YouTube chat out here tonight that you can click on, read Angel's story, and make a donation if you may be able to. But we're going to take this next lap. We're just going to take it in with you and enjoy the sights and the sounds of this evening.
Green flag.
And it's hard to come back from that, Arie, you know, it's moments like those that we remember that this is more about friendships and community and family than it is a race on a Wednesday night, as we're back racing once again.
Absolutely, Tom. Couldn't have said it better myself. And looks like we've got some issues for Brad Holmes, who was up towards the front. Brad Holmes, we got the 29 involved. Gonna need to get a couple replays on this, but right off of the restart, coming out of turn 2, some chaos and pandemonium. 77 involved down there. Who wasn't involved at this rate?
Well, let's take a look. We're gonna back up here on the CyberThunder broadcast replay. See if we can't. Let's try this one. Alright, better look out here. Entering to turn number 1 to begin stage number 3. Taking a look at the 77 of Roy Hill. Already incidents happening in front of him. Brad Holmes going around, Mike Schaefer going around. 77 looks like he's going to be scot-free out of this.
Yeah.
Let's take a look first at Brad Holmes and see
Absolutely.
what happened to Brad. There's Brad.
Like this is still post-incident. Battling for the
Keeping an eye on
lead.
Brad Holmes.
Gets loose, tries to save it, can't do anything, and that's in front of the field. You're gonna cause some checkups, and that might be where the 29 went wrong, and even Paxton got into the wall a little bit further up. Just you see a car ahead of you at the front of the field start getting out of control, and you're at the exit of a corner. Last thing you want to do, Tom, is plow into that, and sometimes when you check up, that causes you to lose control, and it's just a domino effect from there.
Yeah, and it's kind of the case of one person starts to put a ripple in the water, and then that wave continues on far past what you started. So Brad Holmes, don't see any damage on that car. I think Brad Holmes is going to come away from that incident.
Oh, a little bit on the right front.
Pretty okay. You don't need a right front. It's Richmond. You'll be fine.
As long as the wheel's intact.
But see, Mike Schaefer on and off pit road did not elect to use a fast repair on that number 29 Chevy Camaro and that red and white 29 car for Mike Schaefer. Staying on the lead lap here. You see him coming out right before the pace truck. So Mike Schaefer still just one lap down for that machine.
Absolutely. Can I just say, Tom, that ripple in the water analogy, that might be my favorite thing you've said up here in the booth. I don't know. There's been some good ones so far, but that's a good one. I like that one. Tell you what, take a look at second place. You got your eyes on that 87, Aiden Shrine. He's here. He's on the front row now. See what he can do.
And they're going to double up. Aiden Shrine goes to the outside of Matt Semple for the 5th caution out here tonight. 2 for stages, 3rd for incident. Aiden Shrine up now 7 positions, still your biggest mover on the evening for tonight's race. I think this is going to be the first true test to see what that 87 has got between now and lap number 200.
Absolutely. I think if I'm the 8 car, if I'm Matt Semple, I don't know what to expect out of that 87. I haven't gotten to race him tonight, and I've seen him win a couple road courses recently. If I'm the 8 car, I want to get a real good turn 1 and 2. I don't want to have to worry about that 87. Get a good restart and run away.
Pace car down and away onto pit road for the 5th time out here tonight. Matt Semple with a great restart goes as soon as he sees that yellow the yellow wall in the restart zone. Matt Semple opens up to a 2-3 car length lead as they're side by side. Gary Miller, Aiden Shrine battling for 2nd place. Gary Miller on the inside line, Aiden Shrine on the outside line. Who is going to hold on to 2nd place?
Tell you what, Aiden Shrine's going to clear for 2nd, and we still got a battle because here comes Jada Wicks in the 9 car on the outside of that 38, and now Jada Wicks showing some speed after those incidents. Back up into the podium positions, back up into contention, and trying to make something happen. That was a real nice diamond we just saw from this angle here of that 87 car in 2nd place, Aiden Shrine, trying to square up the leader, trying to square up that 8 car and see what it can do. But man, these guys are scrapping the 38, just narrowly ahead of Justin here, and gonna dive to the inside. We got some battles for tonight, Tom.
Justin throws down on the inside to turn number 1 of Gary Miller. I think that was maybe a case of, hey, you slid up in front of me, I'm going to slide up in front of you. Maybe that is what we just saw between 54-38. But now Justin is able to make his way up into the 4th place position, hold that position to his own. Brad Holmes saw an incident for him on the last restart. Brad is back up into position number 5 and fighting with Gary and Mike Miller, trying to work his way forward, back to the front.
Absolutely, and I got a feeling double-double there in that red and white. 00 car is going to be maybe a little hot, maybe kicking himself just a bit after that incident, that self-spin, and knows he's quick. He knows he's got a top 2 car on pace, and he wants to get back up there. He wants to have a chance. He wants to have a go at that 8, because it's really, I feel like, you know, this whole season come down to one of those 2 guys at the end of the day. And oh, Justin Osterman in the 54. Gonna go sideways across the grass on the front stretch. Keeps it straight, no caution. But that is not what you want to see.
Yep, we stay green for the time being. Justin Osterman will take a look at it here with the 54. Again, Calamity Corner, just seeing sideways on the exit of the corner, using too much throttle. And that will unfortunately put you down into the grass. But nice job to keep it down there, not cause a yellow flag, not cause any damage, unnecessary damage to that number 54 machine, and they're going to carry on.
They absolutely are, and I tell you what, Tom, color me surprised. Jaden Wicks up to 2nd place, got around Aiden Shrine, trying to chase down Matt Semple now. I don't know if Jaden just decided to turn on the afterburners or what the situation is, but Jaden's found something. He's found some speed. I'm pretty sure they're all on the same tire strategy, so found something and is capitalizing as the sun has gone down.
Yep, yeah, everybody last pitted, with the exception of Brad Holmes, because Brad had that incident after stage 2 ended. Everybody is all on the same tire strategy, pitting on lap number 90. So Brad is the only one, and he's got a 6-lap advantage, but 4 of those 6 laps were in caution. So call it all the same tire strategy here.
Absolutely, more or less around the same, and we're still seeing Jaden blink up there a little bit, but we've got Brad Holmes up to 4th and putting the pressure quickly on the 87, that Ally Camaro of Aiden Shrine. And I just feel like Brad has got a lot of speed, and if Brad can really start hammering in some consistent lap times and kind of getting that car into a good rhythm, Brad might be the closest one to have anything for Matt Semple, but Matt has impressed me tonight, Tom. I'll tell you that much. He's got a 2.5 lead now over Jaden Wicks in 2nd place and extending it lap by lap.
Talking point that we were talking about earlier tonight, the gearing in these next-gen cars, which gear we would see them running in. Currently on board with Gary Miller. Gary currently in 4th gear. You're going to see him change the 5th right there, back down to 4th into turn number 1. So they are, as you were saying earlier, using 2 gears. At least Gary is. And when you do that, that's also going to allow the car to turn a little bit better because it kicks the RPMs up. It gets it a little bit sideways to enter the corner. So that's also not just the thing for speed, but it also makes the car turn a little bit better.
Absolutely. If you're struggling with a tight race car, you just can't get that thing to rotate the center. If downshifting is an option, it's a good one to take. I would love to jump on board with our race leader, Matt Semple, and see what we've got out of that 8 car in terms of shifting here. We're going to go all the way up to 5th gear on the front stretch, and still redlining down to 4th into turn 1. Gets that wheel angled right down. That's a very nice diamond, very good on the tires. Up to 5th again on the back stretch. Points that car perfectly into the corner, able to ride that bottom line, and comes off on the bottom as well. Matt Semple is running this track exactly how he needs to run this track. He's doing a good job keeping it in 4th and 5th. He has done some practicing, if I had to guess, or taken some notes from someone, because this is about as good of a line as you can run at Richmond in this car.
And you can hear the throttle control that Matt Semple is having to use, entering into the corners, waiting on the throttle in the middle. What I hear out of Matt's car here, Arie, is that when he gets back on the gas, he is back on the gas. There is no on the gas, off the gas, trying to push, trying to get on it too early, trying to make them the fastest laps possible. When he gets back on the gas, the car does what he wants it to do, and it goes, and that's the way to make the fastest laps, obviously.
It absolutely is. If you're not fighting the car at all, if you're making some nice, easy, precise inputs and you don't have to correct anything, that is going to go a lot better than if you're always sawing at the wheel and correcting everything. And one thing that that might go a little unnoticed there with that onboard of Matt Semple is how much engine braking Matt was using, especially into turn 1. We see he's got that very wide entry. That's wider than even I would run this track myself, but he's using that engine braking very nicely. And the less, or I should say, the more engine braking you do, the less kind of normal braking you do on that very tricky turn 1 entry. If you figure it out, if you can get into the rhythm of it, it can really help you keep that car glued to the track and keep you from really losing control of that rear end.
Matt Semple currently leads over Jaden Wicks. Jaden Wicks still holding on to second place. About 2.5 seconds back off race leader Matt Semple right now. Brad Holmes, he's made his way back up to third place. Aiden Shrine, just under 4 seconds behind the race leader. Gary Miller rounds out the top 5 as we run lap number 119.
I'll tell you what, Aiden Shrine did have the record for biggest mover, but Jaden Wicks is currently sitting in +6, at least until or if that 0-0 gets around him for second place. I'm pretty amazed, Tom, at the speed that Jaden Wicks has found, seemingly out of nowhere. And Brad Holmes, of course, we know is fast and made a good recovery from that incident earlier, but if we don't get any cautions, it's going to be interesting to see how the green flag pit stops play out.
So that's something that we haven't spoken about yet tonight is green flag pit stops, fuel mileage, fuel runs. So they went green with, the stage was 110 laps to go, but they went back green probably with about 100 laps to go after that end of stage 2 caution there. Got to assume that drivers can go probably, what would you say? Would you say about 70 laps on this?
It's hard to say, hard to guess with all the different cars on the sim and all the different percentages and everything. But usually at the shorter tracks you can get away with a lot more laps, and this one is one of the tracks where you're kind of in the high rev range a lot. So 70 sounds like a good number to me, but we'll have to see. It could even be more than that, and possible for somebody to stretch it, but it'll be interesting to see for sure. And you know, if we've got a guaranteed pit stop, you know, when do we see it? Are people going to split it? Are they going to try and run long for a caution? Are they going to try and undercut? Who knows, really?
Battle continuing to happen back here. For second place, Brad Holmes had that issue earlier, set him back to about 7th or 8th place, but he's now fighting Jaden Wicks, trying to get around Jaden in that number 9 machine down the backstretch here, about half a car length behind the 9 of Jaden Wicks. I think once we get in the fuel window here, Arie, is that if you're in a battle like this and you can't get around somebody, I'm coming down. I'm going to use the opportunity to come down, maybe try to short pit a little bit. I don't think we're in that window just yet, but if you're in a battle like this, come on down pit road, get some clean track position, use those fresh tires, and jump them on the green flag pit stop there. But we'll see what these drivers elect to do as we do get closer to the green flag pit stops, which we expect to see probably somewhere in about 30 to 40 laps, probably around maybe 160 would be my guess.
Yeah, that's a very good point about undercutting. I tend to agree. If I'm right behind somebody and I just can't get it figured out, I might try and short pit them by a lap or two from where I might expect them to. And yeah, and if they come down before me, I'm not coming down right away. If you're right ahead of me and you come down, I'm deciding, okay, if I got the feel for it, I'm gonna go 3 or 4 laps, and I'll try to make up that time on the back end of the next run. But here we go, Brad Holmes to the inside of Jaden Wicks for second place.
Double down to the inside of Jaden Wicks, entering to turn number 1, lap number 128 of 200 out here from Richmond Raceway out here tonight. Brad Holmes trying to clear that 0-0 machine. Looks like he's going to be able to. Maybe not just yet. They're still side by side, entering to turn number 3. Maybe now he's no. All right. They're Jaden is holding strong on that outside.
He absolutely is. He's putting up a good fight. He's got some good speed here, but Brad does have those slightly fresher tires we can't forget, and that is going to pay dividends the entire run, as long as he's not overdoing it on those tires, and I don't think he is, but he gets up to second place, and he's looking down the barrel of about 5 seconds to Matt Semple in the race lead, and at this point, Brad's hope is going to have to be that Matt struggles with lap traffic, a pit stop, or just kind of loses focus a little bit, but Matt Semple is he is half a track ahead at this point. It feels like if you're Brad Holmes in that 0-0, and at least you're up to second. At least you've recovered from that spin. He spun out from second place, and now you can kind of look forward for the last 70 laps of this race.
Brad Holmes has got a lot to hope for there if he's hoping for some lap traffic to help out. See Matt Semple entering turn number 3, that little 8 machine entering turn number 3 right there in front of the 21. He's got clear track for at least the next 7 or 8 laps in front of him. So, but once he gets there, he's going to be seeing a few cars. So it's going to be interesting to see how Matt Semple is able to work through lap traffic. That's something that we haven't really seen this evening so far, with 2 stages, 45 laps apiece. Finding other battles out on the track out here tonight. Gary Miller currently running in the 7th position. He's trying to hold off Roy Hill the 3rd in 8th. Justin Osterman currently in 9th, just out of camera frame right here. Justin has had a very up and down night so far. Every time he's gone forward, he's then found a way to go backwards at some point throughout that run. Currently running in 9th from the 54 machine. Think Justin is going to need probably several cautions, which may not be out of the realm of possibility from the short track out here tonight, but Justin's going to need a lot of help to become a contender for the race win.
Yeah, I would tend to agree at this point in the race. As we watch Roy Hill III try and close in on the back of Gary Miller for 7th position. As we run, these 3 cars kind of bunched up just a little bit, but you know, if we do end up getting that kind of surprise caution here in stage 3, one thing's for sure: cautions breed cautions, and we're at a short track to boot. So, you know, I feel like cautions breed cautions even more on short tracks, and I think, you know, if we get one, we're guaranteed to get more. It's either going to be green to the end, or we're going to have a couple. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I think if you're kind of towards the back here, if you're Justin Osterman in 9th place, if you're Roy Hill in 8th, even Gary Miller in 7th, you might be hoping for the race to kind of shake up a little bit more than how it's running currently.
On board with Roy in the 8th place right now in that Ford Mustang, trying to chase down Gary Miller. And you see Gary, I think we're seeing the same thing out of Gary that we saw a little bit earlier, where Gary is battling a tight entry. It looks like he goes down there into the corners and he kind of just stops. That to me is indicative of maybe overdriving the corners and then having to compensate for it on the in the apex of the corner to slow down, and that's going to hurt your time.
Yeah, absolutely. If you got to park that car in the middle of the corner to get it to turn, contact! The 54 gets into the 38.
Contact on the exit of turn number 4. Gary Miller, we were just talking about possible struggles for the 38 machine, looking tight. Let's see if we can't get a good look here. You see Justin Osterman coming through. That might have been a case of Justin coming so fast that Gary wasn't aware that he was there. Let's go on the nose with Justin here and see exactly what these drivers saw. As we stay green out here tonight, Justin makes one pass, and then I think there's shared responsibility there.
Absolutely. I think they came into each other just a little bit, and the speed difference. The 38 was slowed down so much, and that 54 had such a big run. Combine that with the fact that one's going down and one's coming up, and you just got a recipe for exactly what we saw right here. And it's a good job by the 38 to keep it off of the wall and out of any other cars to keep it straight, but unfortunate for his night.
Unfortunate for the 38, but he takes that opportunity to come down onto pit road. While we were looking at the replays, Gary Miller in that 38 machine Ford Mustang, he comes down onto pit road. He is the second to pit through this round of green flag pit stops. Paxton Frith pitted about 17 laps ago on lap number 1. current top 9, excuse me, have stayed out on track last pit stop 90, lap 90.
Matt Semple in that Rebel 8 Camaro has opened up this lead to 5.8 seconds over second place Brad Holmes as we circle lap number 143 here this evening at Richmond. Penultimate race of the regular season here in the Friggy Diggy Racing League. And Matt Semple wants to start the playoffs with some momentum, get that car back into victory lane and really kind of show the field that he means business going into the last part of the season.
Now, we've seen it all season long from Matt Semple, the Maple Missile, as he's been affectionately called in other leagues, but we've seen the Achilles heel for Matt Semple be restarts.
That is a good point, and tonight we have actually seen the opposite, because I don't think Matt Semple has had a bad restart all night.
Well, it's just something to keep in mind. I mean, when we were last here on the CyberThunder Broadcast Network about 2 weeks ago at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, on a restart with maybe 5 or 6 laps to go, Matt actually downshifted into first gear and hit the inside wall on the front stretch. We've seen restarts really put the test to that 8 machine of Matt Semple, but so far so good through 5 cautions out here tonight for Matt Semple. But that kind of thing has to get in your head just a little bit, Arie, right? You come to a restart and you say, hey, listen, I've had issues with these before. You start to make those mental mistakes and possibly cost yourself more time. As cars starting to come onto pit road, Jaden Wick's on pit road, Paxton Frith, oh my gosh, we got cars everywhere down here into turn number 3.
Oh yeah, the pit stop cycle is in full swing, and it is absolute chaos and pandemonium here. We saw Jaden Wicks get a little bit loose just on the edge of the frame about a lap ago out of turn 2, and he's on brand new tires, so that's not going to help with those. And we see Roy Hill III coming down on a pit road now. Race leader Matt Semple, he's got a big advantage right here with the cushion that he's built up. He doesn't have to be in a rush to come in. He's not going to get undercut. And the closest people that might undercut, he's still got a good 3 or 4 laps that he can stay out and still hold that track position. So Matt's going to have the advantage of keeping the lead more than likely here and having the freshest tires on the track. And that's just going to compound into an even bigger snowball, if you will, throughout the rest of this race, assuming that there is no caution flag. And that's the benefit that he's gotten for himself in the first part of stage 3 here. Pulling out to that big of a lead when you know there's going to be a green flag stop, you kind of build up a house of cards, if you will. We can use that metaphor with getting that gap to second place, getting that gap to the rest of them. You're just stacking it up, and the longer this goes under green, the more the race is in your favor, and the more you kind of lock in the fact that you're going to potentially win this race.
Christopher Pugliese, he's going to pit from position number 5. Brad Holmes comes in from position number 2. So let's earmark that Brad had, what was it, about a 5.5 second lead over second place Brad Holmes. Watch how long Matt Semple stays out. If Matt decides he wants to come down immediately, he's going to stay out at least 1 additional lap. But you see the cars down on pit road at the bottom of the screen. Brad Holmes, Christopher Pugliese. We're going to keep a close eye on that. While all this was happening, Aiden Shrine pitted on lap number 144. So Aiden has already been down and away from pit road. He's running almost a second faster than these leaders on those fresh tires in that 87.
That is very interesting. It's totally possible that with how long Semple is staying out, that Aiden Shrine jumps up into the lead, at least for a little bit, because I think the tire advantage is going to swing the other way pretty strong. But we've seen Matt already go past the pits twice after Brad pit, and I think we might be seeing the 8 car decide to pull it down this time. Yes, so 2 extra laps ahead of Brad Holmes. Doesn't want to take any more chances. That is plenty good enough. Going to have fresher tires and potentially track position if it's a good stop.
So now watch the track map out here. You see the 87. Oh.
That is going to catch about the entire field a lap down, and that's pretty good. If you're Matt Semple, you're already on pit road. You are loving that.
You know, Aiden Shrine is saying, this just played right into my hands, and got that yellow flag. In the middle of it, looks like an issue for Brad Holmes.
Oh, again.
Let's get over to Brad and see if we can't find out what happened for Brad Holmes. A lot happening during this round of green flag pit stops here.
Yep,
Same thing that we've seen all night long. Just getting loose out of the corners. Seen it both out of turn 2 and turn 4 equally.
Absolutely. It's so easy to get loose on the short run when the tires are a little colder. At Richmond, that is the most common thing you're going to see in the next gen car here at Richmond, is that exact incident on that exact part of the track. And it's, you know, I feel like everyone who races at this track is going to experience that at least once. It's kind of your Richmond initiation, and it's unfortunate that that Brad has had 2 incidents now tonight to get in the way of his chances here, but we'll see how he can recover. He at least kept it off the walls.
So now it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Caught it in the middle of a round of green flag pit stops out here. I think everybody pitted except for Jaden Wicks and Gary Miller. I think that sets... Well, we're going to have to see how scoring comes around here. But I think that's going to set up Jaden Wicks and Gary Miller in a good position out here, because they're going to have a lot better tires than Matt Semple, albeit under yellow flag. And they're also going to gain the track position out here.
Absolutely. I tell you what, that caution came out at about the worst time for us to understand the timing and scoring until they get squared away. But I think one thing's for sure, Matt Semple is keeping that lead.
Arie, don't forget who's in 3rd place.
Is that the 54, Justin Osterman?
The 54. We've seen the 54 come forwards. We've seen the 54 go backwards multiple times tonight here, as we're almost to 160 laps in this 200-lap event from the Frigidigi Racing League. Don't count out that 54 machine. The 54's got speed. He just needs to be able to put himself in a better position, I suppose.
Yeah, and I think that's something that we've seen in previous races as well, is Justin Osterman in that 54, he is capable and he is quick, but he's also kind of a wild card, I feel like, behind the wheel, and we don't exactly know what we're going to get out of it, but he's in the picture now. He's going to have a shot. Matt Semple leads us into the restart zone.
Pace car down and away. Matt Semple on the inside line. Mike Miller on the outside line. Matt Semple's got a great restart on the inside line. Got a 2-3-4 car length lead as they enter to turn number 1. Justin Osterman on the inside line. He's trying to clear Mike Miller. He's got to clear the 24, which he does fast, and try to make his way up to the 8 machine. And Justin Osterman going to be putting the heat on the back of the number 8 machine now.
He absolutely is, Tom. I'm seeing that 54 slightly lock up that left front. I'm seeing him wiggle on the front stretch through the curved part of the track. He is putting everything he can into this. He's seen how fast Matt Semple is tonight. He's seen what he's been capable of, the big leads, and he also sees his bumper right in front of him with a golden opportunity to go up there and try and take control of this race. So that 54, he is on the edge right now.
Entering a lot lower than Matt Semple into turn number 1. Watch the exit of turn number 2. You see the big momentum run that the 8 Rebel Chevy Camaro gets down the backstretch here. A little bit lower into turn number 3. And you hear the throttle between Matt Semple, Justin Osterman. Last time by, 67 to a 74 advantage to number 8.
And we see Matt Semple still taking that very wide entry into turn 1, still focusing on diamonding that corner. And what that's going to do is lap by lap give him more and more of an advantage. If Justin cannot get up there and stick a nose to the inside and take advantage of that wide entry, Matt Semple is going to run away with this race. It's only a matter of time. Justin's only hope is to get up there and disrupt that tire-friendly line that 8 car is running. He's been doing it all night, and we've seen time and time again. It is a very good way to run this track, and Matt has this figured out.
clicking all sorts of buttons here, but we promise we'll get it eventually. You see the time differences between Matt Semple and Justin Osterman out there. Last time by, Matt Semple 3 1/100ths of a second faster. So the last couple of laps, advantage to Matt Semple. Justin Osterman trying to close the gap out here as we are now under 40 laps to go in tonight's race, and again 0.3 of a second slower for that 54 machine. This 8 car has got something figured out tonight, Arie.
He absolutely does, and you know, I tell you what, Tom, I'm glad that I didn't see this kind of speed out of Matt Semple on Tuesdays this past season, because this is a scary Matt Semple when he's got this figured out, and I think he might, you know, he might be feeling that from another league on Tuesday, that heartbreak just a little bit, wants to come out here, wants to make sure it doesn't happen again, and he can capitalize in a championship. But we've got a yellow.
Yellow flag is out here tonight for the 7th time. We'll take a look and see who it might be.
I wonder if it was an admin thrown caution for something?
Let's do this. I got a notification about Mike Miller. Not sure if Mike Miller was involved in something.
Oh, there he goes.
There he goes down there. That was a little bit of a delayed reaction there. Mike Miller sideways into the entry at turn number 1. While we're looking at this top 5 cars on pit road, we're going to get you live to pit road in just a moment. But Mike Miller sideways on the entry to turn number 1. Leaders on pit road.
Absolutely, and he was helped around by the 9 of Jaden Wicks there. Just overcooked it on entry a little bit. Didn't look like anything malicious, but Mike was able to avoid any contact that was too bad. And here we go on pit exit. Matt Semple going to keep the lead. Justin Osterman and Aiden Shrine.
And then you see the rest of the field coming off pit road right there. Mike Miller, Jaden Wicks, they come off 4th and 5th. But I do believe there are going to be cars that did not pit here. We're going to try to get caught back up to the leaders.
I think, if anything, this is a wave around opportunity for these guys who got caught a lap down on that green flag sequence.
Oh, perhaps, yeah. Okay. So now we're just over 30 laps to go in this race. 7 cautions, 2 of them have happened in the last 15 laps.
Oh yeah.
Are we now entering the end stages of the race?
We are. We're entering prime.
We may see a flurry of these.
Oh yeah, cautious, be cautious, Tom, and it's a short track. I'm here for it. It's under the lights at Richmond. Things are gonna get crazy, and I'm excited to see how this pans out. We know who has the car to beat. Matt Semple has been on rails. He has been the guy tonight. But you cannot count out some of these other drivers. Proven winners this season. Justin Osterman, Aiden Shrine. These guys are hungry. They're not going to want Matt to run away with this. The playoffs are coming up. These guys all want to get some momentum. They want to get on the right page. They want to get some wins under their belt and go up there and show that they can go and beat the fastest car on any given night.
Matt Semple once again starting this restart as the race leader, as he's done for the majority of the night tonight. But Justin Osterman in a position now on the front row to take advantage of this. I think Justin is going to try to keep it on the outside of that 8 machine. We've seen the 8 get really good restarts out here tonight.
Extended caution here. Tom just came over the comms, so no restart here. Gonna go around one more lap to fix the running order.
What I was saying still stands, Arie, is I think Justin's best opportunity here, and we've seen this kind of be the opportunity for Matt to jump out and take the lead on the restarts. I think if Justin is able to keep his nose to the right rear of that 8 machine entering to turn number 1, we're going to see a battle coming off of turn 2.
Absolutely. We're going to see a dogfight if that happens. But I tell you what, Tom, if there's one thing I've learned in my years of racing at Richmond Raceway, when you're on the front row and you're on the outside line, it is such a disadvantage. It feels like one of the biggest out of any track you go to. So it takes a lot to stay up there. And as we see Matt get a great jump right there, a good enough jump to bring Aiden Shrine to nose ahead of the 54 for second place going into turn 1.
Aiden Shrine on the inside of Justin Osman. Aiden Shrine's going to be able to clear for position number 2. Coming down the backstretch here into turn number 3, Aiden Shrine as close to the lead as he's been all night in that Allied number 87.
Oh.
Chevy Camaro contact between him and I want to say Justin
Oh,
Osterman.
the 54 goes around from that contact. He is
Justin
parked on the front
Osterman.
stretch.
Justin has had a night.
I tell you what, Tom, if I had to guess, I think Justin had nowhere to go on that one. Once Aiden Shrine hit the wall, I think Justin was along for the ride, but we'll get a replay to confirm it. I was wrong. They were both they were both out of control.
Yeah, they were both out of control coming out of turn number 4 here. On board here with Justin. We're going to try to back this up just a little. Yeah, we'll see if this might be a better look at it here.
Here we go.
On board with Justin. Oh, so he got sideways. So there was 2 different incidents.
There was. They were side by side having their own issues. And I tell you what, Tom, this is a product of 2 drivers who see the race leader, the guy who has been head and shoulders ahead of everybody else all night. The race is coming to the close. The pay window is open, and these guys are running 2nd and 3rd with the leader right in their sights, and they're just going to start digging a little bit more and a little bit more, and I think in both of their cases, they were just overstepping the line because they cannot seem to get that speed that Matt has, and they're trying everything they can. In Aiden's case, it was up into the wall, and in Justin's case, it was around, and sometimes that's just how it goes when you're trying to figure something out that somebody else has. But if I'm Matt Semple, I'm pretty happy that 2nd and 3rd place just had an incident right behind me, and there's just chaos and pandemonium going on as these cautions come out and the laps tick by. It brings us closer to the end, and at a track like Richmond, if you're the race leader, you don't have to be as worried about restarts. You can take cautions all night long. This isn't a Daytona or Talladega.
Well, you can take cautions all night long, unless they're your Achilles heel, like we were talking about Matt Semple earlier tonight. But we got your current race leader. We dragged him down out of his team strategy room. Matt Semple, the Maple Missile, the Maple Misfire. How you doing up there?
Oh man, I'm pretty good tonight. How are you guys?
We are doing okay. We've been watching you. You have figured something out at Richmond to just be super fast out here tonight. Taking a really good entry down into turn number 1. Arie and I, we've been talking about it all night, about how you're saving your tires. How you feel about this 8 machine with 25 laps to go?
Yeah, I feel pretty confident. Kind of had this one circled on the calendar there. I've seemed to always been pretty solid when it comes to Richmond. So just gonna keep doing what I'm doing and hopefully just outrun these guys here and not get run over into turn 1.
So look in your mirror right now. You see the 87, you see the 24, 77, the 00 double-double is all the way back there in 8th. Who are you most worried about over these next 20 laps?
Worried about 87 for probably the first 10 laps. Seems like he has really good pace, and then he kind of falls off. So him, and then I guess I'll just see if that double-double makes it up here at the end or not.
All right, well, good luck on this next restart out here. You've had great restarts all night. See if you can get one more.
Thank you.
All right, kicking Mr. Semple out of here as he prepares for another restart. From the lights here at Richmond Raceway, we've seen a great race out here tonight. Hey, if you're enjoying the stream, we're here every Wednesday night. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We'll be out here covering the rest of their playoffs, and we are green flag racing once again. Great restart for Mike Miller in that 24, Arie.
Absolutely, and I think that's something we've seen all night long. 3rd place loves to start in 3rd place here at Richmond. They get a great opportunity to jump up into 2nd, and now we got to see that 87 of Aiden Shrine battle it out to hold on a 2nd as we go nearly 3 wide back here. Justin Osterman trying to make up some positions after that incident, and gonna get a nice little hand dealt to him by that checkup on the high line. Gonna go after Jaden Wicks for 4th place as we enter turn 1.
4th place already for the 54 machine underneath the number 9. He's going to push up 2, maybe 3 wide on the exit of 2. That's going to get close. Oh, my.
The yellow flag is out.
Yet again for the 54 of Justin Osterman. This time, noses into the wall and trouble up ahead for Roy Hill as well. Oh, it just plows it. Yeah, I don't know about that second hit there, Tom. I felt like that was pretty avoidable, that second one.
Well, Justin Osterman is going to get our award for misfortune of the night. We're going to take a look here. So there's Justin.
It actually looked like that front left was broken, and as soon as he got off of the wall, the car just turned hard left right into where the 77 was, so I will cut him that break.
So you see contact with the 54 machine down onto the inside wall that we saw him hit earlier.
Yeah, you can see that car just hugging the wall. It is just going left no matter what, and that just happens to be where the 77 is. I've driven a car where a front tire is completely caved in, and you're out of control.
Yeah, you could hear the tire right there coming up and down on the front wheel well, but issues for the 77, issues for the 29, issues for the 54. No issues up front for Matt Semple.
I'll tell you what, by the end of the race, Matt Semple is going to be the only car without a scratch on it as it's going so far, but I mean, hey, if you're Matt Semple, you're just having a very nice Wednesday evening drive. You could not be any more relaxed.
Absolutely, that is 100% correct. As we have now just under 20 laps to go. Under 20 laps to go, probably going to be 17. When we see the green flag out here for the 9th time.
Tell you what, though, that 24 car, Mike Miller, up to 3rd place now. Again, just kind of under the radar tonight for the most part. Looking to potentially come home with a really solid result. We got Jaden Wicks in 4th, who's had an up-and-down night. Kind of started out the day a little bit slower, but found something as the night went on and finds himself in a good top 5 position. We've got Christopher Pugliese back up into the conversation now in 6th place with his eyes on a top 5 position potentially if restart goes to plan, but I think we're going to get ready to go double file here. Get ready for the restart and try our hand at it one more time. As everyone lines it up, we've got 8 cars on the lead lap. That is Matthew Semple in the lead all the way down through Mike Schaefer in the 29 car, running in 8th place. We've got Roy Hill down a lap, and then you get a couple more laps down for the likes of Justin Osterman, Paxton Frith, and Christian Key, who has parked the car for the evening by the looks of it. Gonna enter turn 3, and that pace truck is gonna get ready to pull off. We've got Matt Semple, Aiden Shrine, bringing us to the restart.
To the restart we come once again. We heard Matt Semple say, I'm most concerned about the 87 machine. Good, that's the best restart we've seen from the outside line out all night for that 87 machine. I think the 87 is going to have an opportunity.
He
to
absolutely
put his nose
is.
to the outside, and there he goes on the exit of turn number 2. The 87 tries to clear himself, and he's going to clear into 3.
He does for a minute, but now Aiden Shrine's got company. Matt Semple down to the inside, trying to fight back for the lead. There was a little bit of trouble behind, but we keep it green. Aiden Shrine on the outside, Matt Semple on the inside. This is the first time in Stage 3 we've seen somebody challenge Matt Semple. He can't do his normal line, and Aiden Shrine still has a nose there.
He's got to keep his nose to the outside. Yellow flag out, Arie. If I'm Aiden Shrine, 1, I'm disappointed that caution just came out, but 2, I just saw a little bit of a kink in the iron of the machine.
Absolutely did. Had a great opportunity. We're going to queue up a replay right here to see what happened with Mike Miller and Jaden Wicks. But that was an interesting restart there. That was the best outside restart we've seen.
Mike Miller, the 24 machine. Oh.
Just along for the ride as Jaden lost control off of turn 2.
That was... let's go on board here. I want to go on board with Jaden and find out exactly what happened there, because that did not look good.
Seemed to me like a little bit of an overcorrection. Got loose and had too much wheel on the correction and just right in front of Mike Miller in the race.
Maybe. It was just such a weird looking incident with the way that that car snapped loose, especially as we've seen all these cars turn left when they're getting sideways, and just a weird looking incident. We see Brad Holmes getting through, see Chris Mobley's getting through, Mike Schaefer getting through, Gary Miller barely getting through. But a rough incident for the 9 of Wicks.
Absolutely, and I guess I need to hereby apologize to the 24 car on Mike Miller for the commentator's curse. Just had my eye on that 24 and go and see what happens. But I tell you what, Tom, double-double, 3rd place. And Matt did mention that if that double-double gets up there, he might have something for him.
Now, it's going to be interesting to see. We've seen Matt take the inside line on all these restarts out here tonight. With Brad Holmes being up there, Brad has really been the only other driver that's been able to contend with Matt Semple out here tonight. Perhaps a thought in the 8 camp of taking the outside lane, putting the 87 on the bottom, and putting Brad Holmes on the inside line behind the 87. Whereas if Matt gets another good restart, that's going to allow the 904th place to perhaps maybe hold up 2nd place.
Absolutely, and I tell you what, Tom, if I'm behind the wheel of the 8, I'm choosing the outside here, unlike what we see Matt Semple doing. I'm choosing the outside because if my biggest threat is sitting in 3rd place, if my biggest threat is Brad Holmes right now, I want him to be disadvantaged on the restart. Not to mention, the 87 just figured out how to have a good restart from the outside, and the outside is the preferred lane.
Yeah.
So, if if I'm in the 8 car, both of those factors are telling me go to the outside, even though it's usually at a disadvantage. But inside for Matt Semple, inside for Brad Holmes, right behind him. Pace truck pulls off, and we're gonna have a restart with 12 to go.
We're about to find out if Aiden Shrine is able to have another good restart out here tonight. Not as good of a restart as the 87. Brad Holmes is going to be able to maybe clear for 2nd place going down to turn number 1. Maybe 3 wide almost into turn number 1. With Brad Holmes, Aiden Shrine all over the side of that number 8 machine headed down the backstretch here. We're 2, maybe 3 wide for the lead here in a moment.
Looks like Matt Semple is going to be comfortably clear, but that 87's got a lot of momentum on the high side. Cross the line. 10 laps to go now entering turn 1. Matt Semple trying to hold on. Aiden Shrine and Brad Holmes side by side for 2nd place, trying to get up there and have a shot at the win.
If I'm Aiden Shrine right now, obviously 10 laps around here are going to go very, very fast. But if I'm Aiden Shrine, as he gets very tight on the exit, he's going to get to the wall. That's going to allow Brad Holmes to come through and make his way into 2nd place. I was going to say, I like the position that Aiden's in, but with that wall hit there, I think that is probably going to be the story to tell for the 87 machine unless we get over the yellow.
Absolutely, and well, we can just swap out Aiden for Brad. I like the position Brad is in at this point, but Brad's going to get a little tight and just kiss the wall right there. And man, we were on board with Aiden, and we just saw how much faster mid to exit through the corner Matt Semple was than these guys behind, and he's already got almost a 2nd lead over 2nd place as we come through turn 3 and 4 to make it 7 to go at the line. Brad Holmes holds on to 2nd comfortably, but look at this. Gary Miller in the 38 found his way all the way up into a podium position.
7 laps remaining. That's all that's from Richmond Raceway out here tonight. And again, I mean, Matt, just under 2/10 faster that last time by, so that 8 machine got something hooked up in that Rebel camp out here tonight. If you're anybody but Matt Semple, you are wondering what you could do different as Matt is putting over a 1/10 a second a lap on the rest of these drivers.
If you're anybody but Matt Semple, you're battling for 2nd place, and you might save this replay and do some studying and have some homework to do, because I think that 8 car Matt Semple came out here tonight, a man on a mission, and he has proved that to be the case, that you're not going to touch him at Richmond with this car.
High five over the speedway this time by as we watch a battle between Mike Schaefer and Jaden Wicks for the 6th place running position out here tonight. Mike Schaefer, quiet night, up 6 spots from his qualifying position. Did not elect to take time in qualifying. Started 11th on the board and perhaps looking at a top 5 out here tonight. Good run as we see 4 laps to go.
Seems like everybody, for the most part, starting to settle in to where they might find themselves by the time the checkered flag drops, as we have the camera here on Brad Holmes running in 2nd place, unable to close that gap to the race leader, and everyone's kind of single filed out at this point. We are just bringing it home, bringing it to the end. 3 laps to go as the race leaders bring us on to the back stretch, and that 8 car disappears further and further up the road, now 1.3 seconds ahead of the field.
And this time by Matt Semple going to see the popsicle sticks over the speedway from Richmond Raceway. 2 laps remaining. What a great night for Matt Semple. Putting all the issues of restarts behind him, putting all the issues of tire spin behind him. He's been able to manage the restart and keep the lead on every single restart out here tonight. He's going to see the white flag from the short track out here tonight, this 3/4 of a mile speedway, and Matt is now thinking, hey, I'm locked into the playoffs. Next week we go to Daytona, and then I'm going to set my sights on a championship run in the round of 16. But Matt Semple through turns 3 and 4 to the checkered flag.
Matty Semple in the Rebel number 8 Camaro going to win tonight in Richmond Raceway in the Friggity Racing League. Put another one on the board. Matt Semple, our winner tonight. Fantastic performance, dominant speed, just about everything you could have hoped for. Brad Holmes and Gary Miller going to round out our podium in 2nd and 3rd. What a race indeed, Tom. What a race indeed. I think that was everything you want out of a Richmond race.
Yeah, you saw a lot of passing, a couple of wrecks along the way here. Saw tire management, you saw some strategies coming into play, and also a caution in the middle of green flag pit stops there. But Arie, we're going to step away for just a second. We're going to gather your top 3, Gary Miller, Brad Holmes, and Matt Semple, your big race winner out here tonight. We're going to step away. We'll be right back with your podium finishers.
All right, we've got our top 3 drivers for the evening. Joining us right now, the 38, Gary Miller, coming home in 3rd place tonight in a very chaotic race at Richmond. Very up, very down. Walk us through your race, Gary, and specifically the end when you kind of saw the opportunity to get up there and bring it home in a really good position.
That started out good. For some reason, after the first stage, car got really tight, so I just started going with right sides, which helped. And like you said, it was a lot of threat avoidance there for the restarts there at the end, but it was pretty good, a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Do you think you battled more of a tight feeling kind of through the center of the corner tonight, or was the loose exit more of a problem for you?
Tight center was more the problem. Loose off was pretty good. I was able to manage that with throttle control, but yeah, definitely getting it to cut in the center. The guys in front of me could definitely get through there or get up the corner a little better.
Yeah, for sure. We saw definitely a battle of half the field struggling with one thing, half the field with the other. Well, Gary, congratulations on a great run tonight. Who do you got to thank for your 3rd place finish here at Richmond?
Oh, yeah, I just appreciate the league and all the sponsors we have for the league. Yourself for broadcasting it, and of course Jade for owning the league. Just appreciate everybody being out here.
All right, there's your 3rd place finisher, Gary Miller, in the 38 car. I think Tom is catching up with driver 00, Brad Holmes.
We got Mr. Holmes up here, second place finisher out here tonight on a night that what could have been for the 0-0. We saw the 0-0 up front leading. We saw the 0-0 go back towards the back and then come back up towards the front. Coming home second out here tonight. Brad, how was your night?
It was a bit of a rough one. Towards the end there, it turned a little bit rough. I felt like we probably had a car that could have won, but just didn't quite wind up there. So you have those nights, and you just kind of handle them with grace as much as you can.
Well, you certainly had a strong car out here tonight. I think the 8 had he had a whole lot figured out. We'll say it that way. But towards the end there, maybe on that last restart when you started third behind Matt, could you have done anything differently? Maybe to stay a little bit closer to his rear bumper, maybe battle with that restart with about 15 laps to go with Matt there.
Maybe I'm gonna go with maybe. I got caught up in that last wreck and had to use my fast repair, and probably flat spotted the tires, and just lost that little bit of edge I maybe had on the short run over him. But I ran it the way I wanted to run it, and I got beat. So you gotta stay humble in defeat, and then Matt earned that one. So I'm happy he's a buddy of mine. So no complaints from me tonight.
Any post-race hauler talks about that block that you and Matt had on maybe about lap 30 or so down the backstretch there?
It's funny you mentioned that, eh? So
Hey.
we share yeah. There's the Canadian coming out. No, we share a team channel, and he asked why I maybe sent it a little deep into one after that, and I said, well, I didn't realize we were blocking on lap 40. So it's been talked about. Matt and I will be all right. Like I said, we're buddies in real life, so he knew why he got ran the way he did, and yeah, I don't like that kind of stuff, especially that early in the race. I don't think there's any reason for it, but he knows why he got shipped into one after that, and I know why I got blocked. He felt I had the faster car, so no animosity, but we both know why both things happened.
That's the kind of stuff I love to hear on the CyberThunder Broadcast Network. Hey, Brad, we're going to kick you out of here, but before we do, we're going to open up the floor for you. Anybody on that double machine, Chevy Camaro, finishing second out here tonight, you want to say hello to, thank you to, anybody you want to mention, the floor is all yours.
Yeah, just thanks to you guys for doing the broadcast. I know I adore going back and watching the race through the eyes of you guys. You guys really take a personal touch to it and try and learn the drivers, and try and figure out the storylines that are going on. We're obviously about to head into the playoffs here, and it's Matt and I battling it out for the regular season championship. So a big thank you to you guys for putting the broadcast on. Big thank you to Jaden for running the league and sponsoring tonight. Thank you to all the admins. Sobel Speedway's on the car. That's where I work in real life. So shout out to them. And just because I can beat Matt to it, thanks to my smoking hot wife. Yeah, that's about all I got.
All right, well, Brad, we're going to kick you out of here, let you and Matt go continue your team debrief post-race, but congratulations on a second-place finish out here tonight. Certainly had a strong showing.
Thank you. Appreciate Arie and Tom. Thank you. Appreciate it, and we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week. We're kicking Brad out of here, and I believe Arie's got the big winner of the night, the Maple Missile.
That is absolutely
Ontario.
That is absolutely the case tonight. Maple Missile indeed, driver the number 8, your winner at Richmond Raceway. Matt Semple, walk us through your race. Walk us through how you approach this track. I know you mentioned in the middle of the race that you kind of have Richmond circled, and man, you went out there and you showed what was up tonight, getting ready to go into the playoffs with some good momentum. So just walk us through your race.
Yeah, thanks, Arie. Yeah, I tried to I always thought Richmond was a good track for me, but then when I was in the practice session, I'm like, oh man, this is not how I normally run this track, I guess, with all the tire updates and car updates and track updates. So I kind of had to relearn the track per se. So I don't know, I just kind of found a setup that worked, and it was on edge, but I was like, loose is fast, so we'll see how it plays out. And I know the track's going to tighten up transitioning into nighttime. So we set up a loose setup there and went and attacked, and I will have to say I don't think I would have won that race if Brad didn't get ahead of me there and kind of showed me that easy line into 1 and 2, because I was stuck to the bottom and I was wearing my tires out. So when he got ahead of me and I kind of saw what he was doing, I'm like, okay, I'm going to try this, but maybe enter a little higher so I get a better run off, and it paid out in the end.
It absolutely did. And one thing that came up that we were talking about in the second half of the race at the end of stage 3 there was the amount of chaos, carnage, and cautions that was going on. And I kind of had the mind that, you know, when you're the race leader at Richmond, restarts aren't really that much of a concern because you can usually get a really good jump. How did you feel about the amount of cautions that were going on? Were you here for it to just kind of tick the laps by, or were you kind of hoping to just go green and get it over with?
I was really hoping to go green and get it over with, just because I had well, I can't remember what car it was. Adrian, I believe, was on my outside, and I kind of knew he was really good on the short runs, but I felt like if we could have a green flag run, I could pull away from him and keep the distance. My main concern was where that double-double was. And then when I saw him restart third on that final restart, I was like, oh no. I wasn't sure how much fresher his tires were, because he wasn't telling me there. We were in competitive mode, not friend mode. And I was really concerned about that, but it worked out in the end. And kind of when we got 5 laps in that last run, I kind of started pulling on him, and I'm like, okay, I think we're all right. As long as we can keep it clean, we'll be all right.
Competitor mode, not friend mode. I love that. Quote of the night. Well, Matt, I'm going to open up the floor to you. Let us know who you got to thank, who you want to shout out for an incredibly dominant performance here at Richmond tonight. Let us know who you got to thank. It's all yours.
Yeah, I'd like to thank you guys for putting it on. Always a great broadcast. I'm really excited to go back and watch it. I'd like to thank my friends and family for watching, my mom and dad. My super hot pregnant wife that's about to pop any day now. I'd like to thank her for letting me do this. And yeah, just Jaden for sponsoring the race tonight and throwing on a great league. I'm happy to run here and have some fun with some friends.
All right. Well, congratulations on behalf of both of us at the CyberThunder Broadcasting Network. That is some awesome news. So we'll look forward to seeing you back on track next week at Daytona for the regular season finale. But that is your race winner this evening, driver the number 8, Matthew Semple.
Hold on a second, Arie. Matt's not getting out of here until we hear his side of the story about lap number 30. We just talked to Brad before we did your interview, and I guess there was some battles over real estate there on lap number 30 when you guys were banging doors and whatnot going down to turn number 3. What was your side of that there, Matt?
Yeah, my side is, you guys know that Brad and I, we're good buddies outside of iRacing, and we hang out a fair amount and everything. So I race him a little harder than I race everybody else, and I guess when I pulled the block off of turn 2 going down the backstretch on lap 30 or 40, whatever it was, he didn't like that very much. So he showed me his displeasure there in 1 and 2, and we moved on from that. But he made a point to let me know that wasn't a smart block to make at that time. So I think it's coming down to the regular season champ and everything like that. So tempers are a little higher and everything, but it's all good between us. But yeah, I like to race him a little harder than I race everybody else, just because we're buddies. So
sounds like Matt Semple is picking up the next check at the next lunch they go to for the boys' day. But Matt, we will let you off the hook out of here, and we'll let you celebrate your win out here tonight from Richmond.
All right, thank you very much, guys.
All right, Arie. 200 laps down, 200 laps away. Quiet track from Richmond Raceway as these drivers begin to make their way into the haulers, and they begin to debrief, make their way out of Richmond back to Charlotte, where next week these drivers will be at Daytona, the great unknown of a super speedway.
Absolutely going to be one heck of a regular season finale, and we still got the regular season championship up for grabs between Matt Semple and Brad Holmes there. But let's take a look at our final results tonight from Richmond Raceway, race number 25 of the Friggy Diggy Racing League 2025 season. Your race winner, of course, driver of the number 8, Matthew Semple, followed by Brad Holmes in the 00. Very up and down night for Brad, but brings it home second. Gary Miller in the 38 with a nice solid finish at the end of the day. Aiden Shrine in the 87 in 4th, and rounding out the top 5, Mike Schaefer in the 29.
6th place belongs to Christopher Pugliese. Flashes of brilliance out of that 900 machine out here tonight, as well as the number 9 stage win and stage number 1 for Jaden Wicks. Comes home 7th overall. Mike Miller had a strong showing, as well as Roy Hill, and Paxton Frith is going to be your top 10.
Justin Osterman in 11th place after the most chaotic night out of all of these drivers here at Richmond, and jogging on the field, Christian Key in the 970 had to park it in the first half of the race, brings it home in 12th, and we look forward on to Daytona and the playoffs beyond.
And the playoffs beyond, but we are so excited to be here for the next, I suppose it's 10 races for their playoffs, and we're going to be here to call it all the way to championship night at Phoenix Raceway on the CyberThunder Broadcast Network. Any of these next 10 races, Arie, that you are really looking forward to see, maybe a surprise winner or maybe a shakeup in the playoff standings as we go into championship mode here in a couple of weeks?
Well, I tell you what, Tom, I think we've got a good opportunity to a couple of these tracks for some shakeups and the like, but I'm going to be honest. I think the biggest opportunity for some fun shakeups might just be next week, the regular season finale at Daytona. We've got, all of the chips are on the table. It's all or nothing at Daytona. It's now or never at this point, following the conclusion of Richmond as we get ready to strap in and head into the playoffs. So I'm looking forward to Daytona for that specific reason. And I think once we get into the playoffs, the very first race at Darlington is maybe the one I've got circled the most, and not just because it's my favorite track, but I do think it is maybe the biggest test out of all of the tracks in the playoffs as for what the drivers are going to be able to bring to the table, how they can manage a race at a very grueling track all through the night, how they can adjust, and who comes out on top, and if they do it in a dominant fashion, or if it's a nail biter at the end. But I think I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna say that the race winner at Darlington very well might just be our champion at the end of Phoenix.
Well, if you can win Darlington, you can do almost anything. But we're gonna find out who the champion is in just about 11 weeks on the CyberThunder Broadcast Network. Looking forward to being here every single Wednesday night with my friend Arie Heinzman up in the booth. Can't wait to cover these next 11 races, and quiet track out of Richmond out here tonight. Matt Semple with the big win. What do you say we make our way out of here and we'll make our way down to Daytona?
Sounds like a plan to me. Thank you everybody out there for joining us this evening for the Friggy Diggy Racing League. We'll be back next Wednesday for Daytona. We'll see you guys then.